Bujuga Kanawia. Hello, everyone. My name is Madeline Troyer, Kijigukwe, and I am the Special Projects Coordinator with the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe. Welcome to this week's bonus video of our weekly Ojibwemowin series introductions. Please like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. So, our introduction to our introduction. You could say Bujuga Kanawia, which is hello everyone. You could also say Buju Indigenous Magani Dog, which I hear often, especially at ceremonial gatherings. It means my relatives. So Indigenous Maganag are my relatives. When you're addressing them, you would say Indigenous Magani Dog. All right, so a typical introduction would go like this. Buju Nindinwe Magani Dog, Gijagukwe and Dejanakaz, Migazine and Dodame, Gawa Babiganikag, Minawa Gaza Gasquaji Makog and Dunjaba, Minawa Bemijigamag and Da. So what I said was Madeline Troy, or excuse me, I said my Indian name. Eagle is my clan. White Earth and Leech Lake is where I am from, and Bemidji is where I live. So Indigenous versus Indigu. Indigenous, looking at the Ojibwe People's Dictionary online, it is ojibwe.lib.umn.edu. And Ijenikazo is a VAI, and it is he or she or they singular are named in a certain way, has such a name, is called by such a name. So it's the name part. You may also hear Anishinaabe Ijenikazo or Anishinaabe, yep, Ijenikazo. So that's like my script name. Now, Indigu means I am called. It also means it is my name, but we're using it's a VTA instead of a VAI, so it's not just describing one person doing something or multiple people. In the third person, it's actually a short form of iji or in with the consonant change there in the VTA form. Indigu is like I am called, and you might hear igu in other words. Gishawenamigu means you are loved. So basically, indigu means I am called, and it is to be understood that the igu by them are the spirits. So you might hear this more so with spirit names like Gishagukwe Indigu. And you might not. You might hear people introducing themselves. Madeline Troy or Indigo is what I'm called. So those are two differences, and you get to choose. Then we have some add-ons. We can build our sentences in our introduction. So Indigenous Jaganashimong. So Madeline Troyer Indigenous Jaganashimong would be Madeline Troyer is my name in English. And if I said Gijigukwe Indigu Anishinaabe I would be specifically saying Gijigukwe is what they call me, the spirits call me in Anishinaabe or in Ojibwemowin, Ojibwemong, in Ojibwe. Then I would move on to introducing myself and my clan. So Migazi and Dodame, the eagle is my clan. If you don't know your clan, maybe you're a supportive person, practicing your introductions, or you don't have that information yet, you would say Gawin Ningikain Dunzin Nindudame. I don't know my clan. Gawin Ningikain Dunzin Nindudame. Here's an example of the Red Lake Nation flag, and from one of Anton Troyer's videos called Ojibwe Clans on YouTube, I found out why these specific clans are on their flag, and they actually follow hereditary chief system, and these were the original hereditary chiefs in Red Lake. So we have Makwa, bear; Mikinak, turtle; Awazisi, which is a bullhead; Nigig, otter; Migizi, eagle; Wabajeshi, pine marten; and Ogishkemanisi, which is the kingfisher. And then there are other clans that are not listed here, but that are listed here, and many other clans that are not. So Mong is loon, Ajijak is crane, Bijou is lynx, and Maingun is wolf. So this is just an example, hopefully a little insight into the Red Lake Nation flag. Indunjaba is where I'm from. So I would say Gawa Babiganikag, Minawa Gazagaskwaji Makog Indunjaba, which is from I am from White Earth and Leech Lake, because that is where my families are from. Just to be very specific when I'm introducing myself. And if you're not sure where you come from, you can say Gawin Nengikandanzin Wayne Jabayan. So I don't know where I am from. Looking at some places where we might be from. So Red Lake, I would say Misquagami Wizaga Iganing in Dunjaba, or White Earth; Gawaba Biganikag in Dunjaba, or Boys Fort. And I have other things listed for Boys Fort. So Zaga Kwan Dago Wininiwag. I'm not exactly sure what that means. But that's what's listed on the Boys Fort website. And then more specifically, if you're from Lake Vermilion, Onamani Zaga Iganing and Dunjaba. Or if you're from Net Lake, Asabe Kone Zaga Iganing and Dunjaba. Fond du Lac, Nagaji Wanang in Dunjaba. Grand Portage, Gitchi Onigaming in Dunjaba. Leech Lake, Gaza Gaskwaji Maycog in Dunjaba. Or Mille Lacs, Mississauga Iganing in Dunjaba. These are just some places, not all. Inda is where I live. So I put more city type places here than on the previous slide. So Bemidji, you guessed it, is short for Bemidji Gamag. And we have Cass Lake, the town, Ga Misquawakokog, Inda is where I live. Bagley, which is kind of funny, because Mushkimod is a backpack or a bag, and so Bagley is called Mushkimodong at the bag place. Inda, so Ely, Gajagawigamog, Ely, and that's has something to do with the lake up there and what they named that also. Natawash, you guessed it, is actually Natawash, and I can't remember what that means, but Manomin, you guessed it, is named after our rice, wild rice, Manomining, Inda. I live in the town of Rice. Minneapolis, Kakabikong, Inda is where I live. St. Paul, Ushkibugazibing, Inda is where I live. And Duluth, Onigaminsing is where I live. Inda, excuse me. Here are some of our citations. I will do a full introduction on the citation page as well. So, Buju, Gijigukwe, Indigenous, Anishinaabe Monk, Magaja, Madeline Troyer, Indigenous, Jaganashi Monk, Migazine and Dodame Gawa ba Biganikog Minawa Gazagaskwaji Makog and Dunjaba Minoa Bemijigamag and Danongum. And there are other things that we can add to our introduction. You can say where you work. You can say that you are happy to be here. So there may be another follow-up video to this. Miigwech. Miigwech na nagadawa bundameg. Thank you all for watching Weekly Ojibwemowin Introductions with Gijgukwe, Madeline Troyer, Special Projects Coordinator at the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. It means a lot to get the word out there.